by computers, don't know your oven chip from your microchip, in the mouse doesn't bite, we'll show you how one TA is putting some TLC into ICT.
My main tip would be, don't be scared of the computer. You can always backtrack yourself. You can never break the computer. So I would just go in there and just muck around yourself with it, just play around with the computer and have fun with it.
With ICT becoming so prevalent across all aspects of school life, teaching assistants, along with the rest of the staff, are increasingly finding they need to have good computer skills. For example, at St John's Primary School in Southwark, London, they've developed the role of individual TAs to support ICT across the curriculum. One such TA is Tracy Burridge, whose role includes everything from working with small groups in the ICT suite to helping children with special educational needs access the computers.
Morning, I'm fine.
An essential part of Tracy's role is to prepare appropriate ICT activities for the week's lessons.
Me and the class teacher would plan once a week. She would go through all the lessons and tell me what she wants me to actually do with the children, either take them into the computer suite or work on the interactive whiteboard.
I think it would be lovely to get a display on the new Pope.
Yeah.
The Pope.
Tracy and I will do lesson planning together, and then she will find appropriate websites that we can use to reach the learning objective with some children in the class.
This morning, Tracy is taking a group of 6 pupils out of the classroom and into the ICT suite to work on an RE project.
Who can tell me who the new Pope is, his name? Jessica.
Pope Benedict XVI.
He is, isn't he? So what we're going to do today, go onto the internet and then type in www.vatican. In RE, we've been covering the new Pope, and we had a class maths last week. So to consolidate the RE lesson, we thought it'd be beneficial for the children to go into the ITC suite, go onto the internet, look up information on the new Pope and produce their own work. What do I do then? Right click. What do I press now?
Paste.
Paste.
Done this on Google,
We didn't we? And then we press start again.
Tracy's confidence in teaching the children how to access the internet and make posters is something she wouldn't have dreamt of doing a few years ago.
When I first started the school, I was really scared of the computers. I wouldn't even attempt to go in the computer suite and try any work. If I was told to do some work, I'd give it to someone else to do, one of the teachers, just to say, would you print this off for me? I was just scared to touch any buttons, that whatever I touch, I'd frightened I'd break the computer. Are you all clear on how to do it? We're all clear. I think it's very important for all TAs in schools to be competent in ICT. Okay, you want to choose a computer? Miss Corn, the head teacher, approached me one day and said that there was a computer course open to TAs in Southwark, and I just jumped at the chance. The first day I attended, the tutor said he'd never seen someone so scared and nervous of actually starting to work on the computer. So if you keep clicking, it will go back to where the picture was originally. Can you see? It's like magic.
Oh, yeah.
Stay on the picture, push your finger down on there and hold it. And then I always try to let them make their own mistakes. So I always say to them, look, have a go. Before you put your hand up, have a go. If you get it wrong, we can change it. We can go back to the previous screen. I would only intervene if I can see them getting into real trouble.
Tracy's not coming up. What?
Dylan, can you help her to see if she can get onto it, or I just help Connie?
I tried. Just press copy. And then just got it.
If I'm busy with a child who's got a problem, if another child puts their hand up, I always get sort of a high ability child to say, if you finish your work, can you go and help that person? They like having help from other children as well. Right, we're going to look at a package now on how to actually draw pictures. So what I'd like you to do is try and create yourself your own picture of the Pope, the new Pope. It's better to have, when you go into the ITC suite, to have a couple of varieties of activities for the children to be used, because obviously you've got the higher ability children who need to be pushed, and then you've still got to differentiate it so the low ability children can obtain access to the same work as what the other children are doing. If you don't want to draw the Pope, there's another package you can go onto clip art. At the end of every lesson, it's very important to go through what you've actually achieved in that lesson. It's nice for the other children to see other pupils finish work, and they get great pride in being able to talk about what they've done and show the other children in the class their finished work. Leo, do you want to explain to everyone how you got onto this programme?
I got the paintbrush and I used the black, and I drawed his body, and then I coloured him in blue and yellow.
Really good, Leo, really good work. And it's really hard to use the paintbrush on that as well. The pencil's quite thin.
Tracy trained for a year to get her CLATE, a popular IT qualification. She attended college once a week and graduated with the distinction. Although a qualification of this kind can't cover everything, it has given Tracy the confidence to tackle anything.
Confidence with the whiteboard was just having time out, sort of going to the programs where I'm so confident in the computer suite now. That rubbed off on the whiteboard as well, because I knew that you could go into programs and it wouldn't break down. I'd be able to get out the programs.
When we have the word short, are we going to add or are we going to subtract?
It was taken away. We had to add a bigger number.
In today's numeracy lesson, class teacher Vasti sets out the learning objectives before Tracy takes over with the interactive whiteboard.
Bit of fun now with our number lines, okay? I'm going to write a sum up, and then I'm going to let you all have a little bit of time to work on your number lines, see if you can work the answer out. Then if you put your hand up when you get the correct answer, then that person can come up and actually drag the number down into the number machine. Let me put the number up for you.
16
Plus 4 equals. So the sum is 16 plus 4. Put your hand up when you get the answer.
It's really hard to get a number line on a small blackboard. So using the ICT and having a big number line up to whichever numbers you please is really helpful for the children to learn with.
And then press your button. You're going to get the right number, do you think?
Yeah.
Using the interactive whiteboard gets the whole class involved in the activity. It's very hands-on, so they can come up and use the equipment to write things on the whiteboard, and it's a fun activity for them as well. You read that sum out so everyone can hear. Turn round.
15 plus 5.
15 plus 5. All look on your number lines on the table.
When Tracy is busy on the whiteboard, I will sit and do observations where I see which children have really reached the objectives and which need more help, and you can see where they need help.
What is the answer? 20. Well done, Rosie.
Teachers don't always get that opportunity, and it is really a lovely opportunity to see what you have reached with the children and what you haven't.
We put the 15 back. Yeah, the only downside of the interactive whiteboard is very temperamental, so trying to move numbers from the number line can be quite difficult for younger children. That's why they have to have quite a light touch, and the children do sort of tend to prod their fingers quite hard onto the board. Very temperamental, our board, isn't it? We have to have a lesson where we have lots of practice on moving the numbers around. When the interactive whiteboard problem occurs, I've always got the classroom teacher to back me up, so she will carry on with something that we're doing in the lesson to keep the children focused on the lesson, and it usually only takes a couple of minutes to get it up and running again. Ready? 5 plus 3. What did you come up with? What was your answer? 8. Do you want to come and see if you're right? Put it into the machine. Who thinks he's right? My tips for the whiteboard are to obviously get your lesson planned and all the equipment you want to use on the interactive whiteboard available. You know what programs you're going to go into on the morning of the lesson or the afternoon, and have your backup there if anything does go wrong. Is it going to be right?
Yeah.
Well done. You okay?
Tracy,
Good afternoon.
can you help us find a program for maths revision?
Yeah, do you want to sign on to the computers?
At lunchtime, Tracy runs the ICT surgery, which benefits pupils across the whole school.
They might come to me with problems that researching on a famous artist, work for their SATs, they can't find revision programs.
It's giving you the fact sheets now, so that will actually give you games to do as well.
A lot of children don't have computers at home as well, so this is the only contact they have is when they're in school. So maybe spend longer with them.
I wanted Tracy to help me with my maths because I'm having maths studies in May. Well, we're doing an art project about Andy Warhol, and I wanted to see some of his pictures.
For many TAs, an important part of their role is to work with children with special educational needs, and ICT is one way to support their learning.
Alfie, we're going to put in your name, and then we're going to draw a picture with the colours. Okay, so you put your name, copy the same, the letters, put your name in. Okay, where's the L? Can you see the L? Good boy. Where's the F? Press it. I've worked with Alfie since reception class, so I'm in my 3rd year of working with him now. He's a Down syndrome boy. He's got dry mouth syndrome, so he hasn't got a lot of vocal vocabulary. He had quite bad fine motor skills when he first started the school as well, so he couldn't use scissors, pencils. Very hard for him to use the mouse on the keyboard.
Now I want a S. Where's a S? Can you see it? Good boy.
To get Alfie over his fear, I used to go in on a one-to-one basis where he would watch me log onto a programme and maybe touch a few buttons. I'd say to him, Alfie, you touch this button, see what happens. So he wasn't as scared of the mouse as what he was, so he would just like play around with the mouse and move it to different areas of the computer screen.
Oh, looks like you've got loads of worms there. Are they worms?
No.
Should we make it bigger?
Yeah.
To get Alfie to this level, it's took me about 1.5 years of quite intense work, going in there maybe once or twice a week. Well, when Alfie first started here, he couldn't even use the mouse. He would just go in there and throw it around. Now he's able to go into the computer suite and actually log on, go onto the programme that he needs and actually produce finished work as well.
Who's that?
Bird.
Right. Is she your friend? Is that your friend?
Yeah.
What's this?
Me.
You're eating your dinner.
Because of Alfie's writing and speech difficulties, it's hard to produce work as evidence for like parents' evening. So we use a digital camera. We take pictures of his favourite pupil in the class, his favourite friend, work he enjoys doing. This is updated weekly, so Alfie has a reference to look back on of what he's done throughout the week.
Who's this here with the funny glasses?
Me.
Is that you?
Yeah.
The funny glasses.
Alfie needs to be integrated. He's in a mixed school, so he obviously needs to do the same work that the other children are doing as well. So it's very important that he has the same access that the other children in the class have.
Alfie, look! Say cheese! Oh, that's lovely. Today we're going to be going over how to make a banner. So your end product should look like this.
TAs are increasingly taking over responsibility for looking after wall displays. ICT is one way of getting creative, and Tracy has organised a workshop for the other TAs in the school.
Insert. Go down to picture.
I never thought I'd be teaching adults how to use computers. I never thought I'd have the knowledge to go in there and be able to tell people how to use a computer. Right, if you want to change, so if you click onto format. Teaching adults is harder than actually teaching children because they do have the fear. Where they're older, they do have that fear, like what I had. If they touch a button, they're going to do something wrong.
You can choose the height as well. So if you want portrait, go into portrait. So click on above.
I think the other TAs in the school really gain a lot of information from the knowledge that I've actually learned, and it's great to be able to share the knowledge that I've learned and for them to be able to produce work and for me to be able to see it and say, well, I've actually gone in there and taught them how to do that.
Previous to this, we would have had to have cut out things by using stencils, but by using any of the computer graphics, it's quicker, easier, and the instructions that Tracy gave were very clear and concise.
The most important thing I've learned about ICT is not to be scared of the computers, to go in, to research, to open every package you can on the computer. You're always learning, like the children, you're always learning new things. Just get over your fear and just go in there and have lots of fun.